Welcome to Tech Bytes and News, your daily roundup of articles featured in Hacker News. Today we're diving deep into the surprisingly complex world of JSON object signing, specifically, how not to do it. It's a fascinating read.
Yeah, I saw this article too. I was initially surprised by how much nuance there is to something that seems so straightforward. The author really highlights the pitfalls of trying to be too clever.
Exactly. The core message is, unless you have a compelling reason, avoid in-band JSON signing. It's a recipe for disaster. Using a Mac, like HMAC SHA 256, outside the JSON is far simpler and more secure.
Right, much easier to implement and less prone to errors. But the article delves into why in-band signing is so problematic. The sheer number of ways to represent the same JSON object? It's mind-boggling.
It's all about canonicalization, or the process of creating a unique representation. And that's where things get messy. The article mentions the nightmare of canonicalization, citing the Kelby-Ludwig SAML bug as a prime example. That bug was a real doozy.
Oh yeah, I remember reading about that. It really highlighted the fragility of relying on seemingly simple canonicalization techniques. The article suggests 3 approaches to in-band signing, but each has its own drawbacks.
Yeah. Canonicalization itself is a huge challenge, and even with standards like canonical JSON, it's not a trivial task. The second approach, including the exact signed string, doubles the message size. Not ideal for efficiency.
And the third, using an alternative format, is only really viable if you have a very structured, predictable data format. It's not a general solution. The author's preference seems to be for external signing, avoiding the whole canonicalization mess.
Absolutely. The article then goes into some real-world examples, like AWS signing versions. The evolution of AWS signing from V1 to V4 is a cautionary tale in itself. Each version had its own set of vulnerabilities, mostly stemming from how the signing process was implemented.
It's interesting how even a seemingly secure primitive like HMAC can be undermined by poor implementation. The Flickr example, using MD5, is a perfect illustration of that. They didn't just have a bad canonicalization strategy, they used a weak Mac.
Precisely. The article concludes with some strong recommendations. Always use TLS. Consider alternatives to request signing like bearer tokens, and if you must sign requests, do it externally, signing the raw bytes. Avoid in-band signing at all costs.
So the key takeaway is simplicity and avoiding unnecessary complexity. A well-implemented external signing mechanism is far more robust and less prone to errors than trying to cleverly embed the signature within the JSON itself.
Exactly. Thanks for joining us on Tech Bytes and News. We hope you found this discussion insightful. Until next time, stay secure.
Bye-bye.